Hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and with me I have my lovely co-host, I Chill. Hey, boo.
Well, thank you, honey. Hello.
Hello. And we're going to start with the Pride Post segment. Well, first of all, hey, Chill, and hey to all the listeners in the room currently. Hey, y'all. But we're going to start with our Pride Post segment. And Pride Post was coined by Beezus. So thank you indefinitely for that. I really think you ate when you came up with that.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So for today, I think it's appropriate to feature a woman who was actually the first female solo rapper to go platinum. And we're going to talk about her today. Y'all know her as Da Brat. So now this is from her actual website, her bio from her website, sosobrat.com. And it says Shantae Harris, born in Chicago, Illinois, better known by her stage name at Da Brat, is an American rap artist, profound writer, television and radio personality, executive music and television producer, and actress. Harris attended Kenwood Academy and the Academy of Scholastic Achievement, where she played 7 different instruments in the school's band. Harris's stage name was inspired because she was an only child and often referred to as a brat. The Brat's debut album, Functified, was released in 1994 and entered the rap album chart at number 1. The album went platinum, making her the first female solo rapper to sell 1 million units. The eponymous single reached number 1 on the rap singles chart and number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. Her follow up hit from the same album, Give It To You, reached number 26 on the Hot 100. Her best known feature credits are with Jermaine Dupri, Criss Cross, Mariah Carey, her BFF, Missy Elliott, Jay Z, Aaliyah, and the Notorious B.I.G., and more. She has collaborated with many artists, including Tyrese, Total, Escape, Usher, Jagged Edge, Drew Hill, Destiny's Child, Kelly Price, Brandy, Bow Wow, Snoop Dogg, and the list goes on. The Grammy nominated smash hit Not Tonight, released in 1997 with Lil' Kim, Left Eye, Missy Elliott, and Angie Martinez, was an instant urban and pop radio chart topper. It sure was. It definitely went platinum in my house, honey. So, Da Brat has released 4 studio albums to date: Functified, Another Tantrum, Unrestricted, and Limelight, Love and Nightclubs, producing numerous chart topping singles. In 2015, she made her radio debut, joining the nationally syndicated Ricky Smiley Morning Show as the new co host. In 2016, she became a permanent fixture on the Fox TV show Dish Nation. Other television appearances include The Parenthood, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Nickelodeon's All That, and TV One's Ricky Smiley for Real, the finale of Fox TV's primetime hit show Empire, Lifetime's The Rap Game, and recapped every episode titled The Brat Game. She also served as an executive producer and cast member on WeTV's Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. In 2018, Da Brat made a successful theatrical debut live on stage as Cleo from the 1996 movie Set It Off, which continued throughout 2022. Da Brat also lends her time to charitable organizations such as Kaleidoscope Cares, Chameleon's Closet, Hosea Feed the Hungry, and Saving Our Daughters. In 2021, she made television history with her partner Jessica Depart um, as an executive producer and cast member on WeTV's Brat Love Judy, making them the first LGBTQ female power couple on television. Also in 2021, Da Brat appeared on Nick Cannon's Wildin' Out, The Wendy Williams Show, Showtime's original series The Chi, and ABC's newest hit show Queens. Da Brat continues to flourish her acting and music career, writing and producing, developing new talent, and has a wide range of social media influence. She has over 5 million followers to date. In her spare time, you may catch her in a city near you, making special guest appearances, performances, and speaking engagements. The best is yet to come. And you know what? I'm inclined to agree because the one thing the Brat has shown us that she has no plans on stopping. This girl, and I feel like she might be, well, not even might. I think she is a generational talent. So not only do millennials know who she is, Gen X knows who she is definitely, and now the kids, Gen Z, they definitely know the Brat, especially because of Brat Loves Judy. And I loved her when she was vulnerable enough to speak her truth. Because remember, back in the day, the brat was like so deep in her glass closet, and I'm saying glass because we all knew, but she was so deep in that glass closet, honey, and most of us thought she was never going to come out, and she wasn't. But then when she went on Wendy Williams, and I can't remember, this article said it was in 2021, but she went on and had that interview with Wendy Williams, and Wendy asked her, why weren't you open about, about you? And she said, "Girl, you see how they was doing lesbians back then? You see what they did to Ellen?" And I said, "Well, shit, I can't blame her." And I just love that she was vulnerable enough to say that out loud. But yeah, she was scared that her career would tank if she was to live openly and happily. But now she is, and I love that for her. I just love to see her just so openly lesbian. It just brings me joy. I love it. I love her and Judy. I love the relationship. The show is corny as hell, but I'm glad that it's on TV. So shout out to that Aries queen. And again, the first female solo rapper to go platinum. A Aries queen, a Aries lesbian did that. So shout out to this girl during Pride Month.
Yes. And
Oh,
she had,
so we have a comment. I don't care for Judy. Ooh, a lot of people say that. But say they don't really like her. They don't like her for the brat. I disagree. I think they're cute.
I don't watch the show, so I don't know much about Judy, but Brad loves her, so hey. People today are still afraid to come out, even in this climate.
Hmm.
In this day and time, well, the climate has sort of changed, but still people are in their closet. It's sad. It's sad, but it still can affect your career depending on what you're doing, sports wise, politicians. There are some uh, jobs that just will not accept you as a gay person, openly gay. So
Hmm.
there are just still a lot of professions where you have to hide who you are, and I really hate that.
You and me both, honey.
You don't think Judy loves the brat? Oh,
Yeah, and this is not the first time I've heard that. A lot of people have expressed that they really don't like her for the brat. They feel that she's using the brat for her fame and all of that. Um, yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and deny what people, because if people are clearly saying that for some, like I'm of the belief, like if more than two people are saying the same thing, then maybe there's some truth in it. So
yeah,
who knows?
possibly.
Well, does anyone want to add anything else about the brat before we or how y'all think Judy don't love her? Before we start with the tea.
I just remember when Brat came out and people were on Twitter saying, uh, girl, we've been through. And she's like, well, I'm glad y'all knew. Like,
Yeah.
what you mean y'all knew? Yeah, girl, we knew.
We knew, girl, and that's why I called it the glass closet, because I don't know who she think. And then, girl, you remember that whole phase when she was going with Allen Iverson, honey, and was fighting girls over him. I said, "Now, girl." like she was really going for it. So I guess that's what makes her a good actress, because she was really
Well,
good. She was method acting at that point.
yeah, yeah, she really was, but okay. Well, I'm glad she worked it out and came out, and kudos to the brat.
Kudos to her. We have a comment. Yeah, I think she really loved AI. No, she's a lesbian. She doesn't love any penis, honey. She did not love. She loved him as a friend for sure. But no, that's as far as it went. Nobody can convince me she was into him sexually.
Yeah, fandom love, not romantic, want to marry him love. She loved him as a person, as maybe a basketball player. You think she's bi? Has she been associated with any other men other than him?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. No, I don't think she's bi at all, honey. At all. I don't think. I think the only thing a man could do for her is shine her shoes. But
Maybe she's gay, but you don't. I don't know. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she says she's gay, but yeah, I don't think she's bad. I don't, and I think that Allen Iverson thing was just like she said, a way to kind of keep the eyes off of her and keep her career going.
Yeah, she was scared to come out.
Hmm.
Okay, well, she won't be the first one.
She sure won't, and definitely won't be the last, honey, until we eradicate homophobia. Well, that's that on that, honey. Let's go ahead and get started with the tea.
Ooh, it's tea time.
Yes. So yesterday we read about the closing arguments with the Diddy's trial. It was prosecutor Christy Slavic that was delivering the closing arguments. And now the defense is delivering their closing arguments today. And they actually have Mark Agnifilo deliver, and I said his name right finally. Yay. I have been saying that man's name wrong for ever since we've been reading this trial.
I thought
Ooh,
it was
child.
Agnapolo.
It might be. It might be
And you tell us
Agnifilo,
that
child.
yesterday, and you still calling the man Agnafilo.
And still saying it wrong. Oh my God, I just don't learn.
Well, you have
Like
been
Hannah would
doing it
say,
for a few
Durham.
weeks now. It's hard to reverse it.
Agnifilo, Mark Agnifilo. I need to say
Yes.
it as loud. Oh, yeah, in the comments
Oh,
says Chill said it right. Oh my Lord.
you forgot your own correction. Auntie.
Child. Well, I'm sharing this CNN link. And let's catch up says the jury is taking a break, but here's what the defense has said so far this morning during their closing arguments. Okay. So Sean Diddy Combs' defense team has taken the floor today to present their closing argument, with Combs' defense Mark Agnifilo delivering the remarks following the prosecution's nearly 5-hour presentation yesterday. Here's what he said this morning so far. The tale of two trials. Agnifilo characterized this trial as two different trials. The trial as told by the witness, text messages, and videos, and the trial as told by the mouths of the prosecutor, which Agnifilo describes as the exaggerated trial and not the real trial. Agnifilo added that the evidence instead shows a swinger's lifestyle, and then went on to praise Combs' achievements in his business and highlighted his career. The domestic violence. The main issue that Cassie Ventura, one of Combs' former girlfriends and accuser who testified at trial, was the domestic violence in their relationship, Agnifilo said. We own the domestic violence, Agnifilo said. Despite the violence, Agnifilo called Combs and Ventura's relationship a great modern love story and said that this case isn't about crime, it's about money. Cassie Ventura sued Sean Combs for $30 million because Sean Combs has $30 million, Agnifilo said. Remember, Ventura has testified the suit was settled for $20 million. Mm-mm. The kidnapping dispute. Agnifilo recalled Capricorn Clark's testimony about the lie detector testing, which prosecutors characterized as an alleged kidnapping and charged as an underlying act for the racketeering conspiracy charge. Clark, he said, wasn't kidnapped to take a lie detector test and said Combs had nothing to do with it due to being busy working at the time. The arson dispute. Agnifilo said there's no evidence that Combs had anything to do with setting fire to Kid Cudi's Porsche. And Chill, you remember you said the same thing when we were going over this trial. You said where's the proof? There's no evidence. So he also said the investigation into the arson was a terrible investigation and underscored the investigators' testimony that a partial DNA profile from the scene was consistent with the female. Remember, Kid Cudi testified his Porsche was set on fire with the Molotov cocktail in January 2012 after Combs learned in late 2011 that Kid Cudi and Cassie Ventura were dating. And then there's the bad publicity. Combs paying the security guard at the Intercontinental Hotel following the 2016 incident involving Ventura was about preventing bad publicity and not a law enforcement investigation, Agnifilo said. It's not a bribe under California law, Agnifilo said, because Combs wasn't trying to hinder a police investigation. The police, he added, were nowhere near the situation at the hotel, and Ventura didn't want police involvement. Oh, he tried it with that last statement, honey. He tried the hell out of it. They most certainly were trying to interfere with a police investigation, but okay. So that was what we caught up. So anybody want to say anything about the catch up before we see if we miss anything else? Ooh, child, the ghetto. Okay, let me see, cause let me just scroll through this really quickly, so I don't want to reread anything that we've already went over. Let's see. Okay, yep. So I guess we can continue reading after the break that they had. Defense resumes closing arguments. Okay. Um, the defense attorney says sexual contact between Combs and Mia was consensual. So, defense attorney Mark Agnifilo has turned back to the topic of Mia, a former Diddy Combs employee who testified using a pseudonym and recounted multiple alleged instances of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse from Combs. Mia testified with the false persona in court, Agnifilo said. He said the bubbly person in the birthday video that the jury watched is Mia's true personality. And Mia falsely testified that Combs sexually assaulted her, according to Agnifilo. This was not unwanted sexual contact, Agnifilo said. Mia testified that Combs sexually assaulted her on multiple occasions. She testified that Combs raped her and on another occasion forced her to perform oral sex on him. Agnifilo told the jury that Combs and Mia had consensual sexual contact, and the jury should believe that because they saw a text from Combs to Mia when he threatened to tell Cassie Ventura about it. Cassie doesn't know about it, and Mia doesn't want Cassie to know about it, Agnifilo said. Agnifilo questioned why Combs would threaten to tell Ventura about something he wrongfully did to Mia. Agnifilo referenced positive social media posts that Mia posted about Combs, asserting that was how she really felt. He showed the jury the scrapbook Mia created for Combs' 45th birthday and called it an act of love. He then showed the jury a photo Mia posted of a group of people, including several of Combs' employees, like Chief of Staff Christina Coram and members of his security team. Think of a word or phrase that comes to mind: joy, family, home, belonging. Agnifilo asks. Racketeering enterprise. This is your racketeering enterprise, folks. Mia worked for Combs from 2009 to 2017. Ventura dated Combs from around 2007 to 2018. Okay, the next update. And just before I even start, Rick, could you imagine having to, like, this is why I can't stand when victims of sexual abuse or sexual assault have to testify in court? Because could you imagine going, first of all, reliving that shit? And then you have a defense attorney saying, "Oh well, this was all consensual anyway. She wanted that." Like I know me. I know that whoever Mia may be wants to punch something or punch somebody. Because are you fucking kidding me? Ooh,
Yeah, that's
child.
a very nasty statement there.
Ooh, child. Anyway, so defense argues Combs and his associates were not involved in dealing drugs. So defense attorney Mark Agnifilo, I was about to say his name wrong again, says there's no evidence to support the government allegation that Diddy and his enterprise conspired to distribute or possess with intent to distribute a controlled substance. Agnifilo said the jury has heard no allegation that Sean Combs is selling drugs. There's no doubt that he had personal use drugs, Agnifilo acknowledged. He obviously has a drug problem. Agnifilo said it's true that assistants picked up drugs for Combs, but the purpose of these businesses and enterprise had nothing to do with him getting drugs. Uh, these are the things that he did with his girlfriend. They did them together. There's no indication that he's selling it to Cassie or Jane or somehow move the drugs or distribute the drugs, he added, referring to Cassie Ventura and an accuser who testified under a pseudonym in the case. Mm-mm. So yeah, and I wonder if he's going to say anything about Frank Black in this closing statement. But anyway, next update: freak offs were part of a swingers lifestyle, not sex trafficking. Defense attorney says. I feel like we've read a little bit of this already in the catch up, but hell, let's still go forward. So Mark Agnifilo said the sex life of Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura was just not sex trafficking. It's his girlfriend. I suppose you could sex traffic your girlfriend if you sell her into prostitution, Agnifilo said, adding there was no suggestion Combs was making any money off freak offs. Ventura, who dated Combs, described freak offs as sexual encounters between her and a male entertainer, typically in a hotel room with Combs present. They are swingers. They are avowedly swingers. This is their lifestyle, he said. Agnifilo said the evidence was overwhelming that Ventura wanted to participate in the freak offs, but he gave the jurors a hypothetical situation in which one partner liked a particular sex act and the second partner didn't but knew the act made the first partner happy. Do you still not want to do it? He asked. Where does that land on the I want to do it, I don't want to do it spectrum? Agnifilo reiterated that this lifestyle choice was Ventura's choice also. She's ready to go, and God bless her, she is. She's a beautiful, sexy woman, and that's what she deserves to be if that's what she wants to be. And that's what she wants to be. Woo child, he is trying it. The defense attorney also knocked the government's statement in his closing argument yesterday that not all of the freak offs were non consensual. How's he supposed to know? Agnifilo said. Agnifilo read a few sexually explicit messages Ventura sent Combs referencing freak offs. There was nothing that would say to him that this was against her will, Agnifilo said. See, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about.
Yeah, he trying it.
He need his ass beat for real. I mean, but at the same time, he's doing what defense attorneys are supposed to do. But damn, like, do you not feel icky? Well, hell no, he drying them tears with money, honey. He does not feel icky. I just answered my own question.
Right.
Child, please. Next update. The defense attorney dissects part of video showing 2016 assault at hotel. So Mark Agnifilo went back to the March 2016 incident at the Intercontinental Hotel in which surveillance video shows Diddy assault Cassie. Messages leading up to the incident showed that Combs and Ventura were workshopping a freak off together, Agnifilo said. Agnifilo showed the jury parts of the surveillance footage, but not the parts where Combs is being violent with Ventura, acknowledging those parts of the video were terrible. Agnifilo used the footage to argue that Combs was coming after Ventura to get a cell phone. He also said Ventura later went back into the room with Combs and the security officer because this room was not a scary place. I'm disgusted, child. Let's see, next update. Defense suggests something was off with the drugs Combs took before the hotel incident. Oh, wow. Now they're trying to blame it on drugs. Oh, my God. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo pointed to the message between Cassie and Diddy in the days following him attacking her at the Intercontinental Hotel in 2016. One of the messages mentioned the drugs Combs took that day, which Agnifilo said were different. The drugs were off, the drugs were bad. He suggested that could explain Combs' behavior in the surveillance video. You are walking around in the middle of the day in a hotel in a towel and socks. So what gives? He said. Oh
The
my God,
nerve.
and now the jury has been dismissed for lunch. So what to expect after the break? Mark is going to finish. He has about an hour. He says he has about an hour left in his closing argument. And then Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey said her rebuttal argument will take about 90 minutes. So I heard Maureen Comey, is very good at what she does. Like when it comes to closing arguments, she's really good at painting the picture of what she wants to convey and what the defense is being accused of. So she's really good. This I learned that from Harvey Levin said that on TMZ. So, and it says the judge said he intends to charge the jury whenever Comey finishes her rebuttal. He'll then offer to the jury to stay however late they want. Child. And I know we have a comment saying get a voodoo doll. Okay. And throw that motherfucker in the trash. Ugh, girl. But I can imagine. I imagine the jurors on this trial are beyond tired, and I'm sure they want to just come up with the quickest verdict that they can. But with all the information they have, it's not going to be easy for them. It's really not. And I'm sure a lot of them, they have to go in there and take their feelings out of everything. They have to look at the evidence that they have, and they have to make a decision with that way. It's going to be really difficult for them. And then you have I'm telling you, girl, that the men on that jury, they are going to make it really difficult for him to be convicted. Because I just know how men. I have no. I hate to say this in a recorded space, but I have no faith that cis hetero men will do what's right when it comes to sexual assault or any type of sexual mishap towards a woman. History has shown us time and time again that they don't. So that's that on that, child. So it looks like we just have the rebuttal for the defense's closing argument that will be delivered by Maureen Coleman, and then we'll go from there. So, but I definitely suspect that the judge is letting them stay late if they want to. They're like, fuck that. Let me go start my weekend early. We can't talk about the trial. Let me go get a bitch a drink. Let me go roll up a blunt because woo, this is a lot of information. That's that on that, child. Does anybody want to add anything? All right. Well, our next story, honey. T Pain is T Pain gave Drake some friendly advice, and Drake did not want to take it. So we about to watch that. Let me share my screen. So I'm sharing this link with all hip hop. Drake hits back at T Pain's advice to bow out gracefully. So let's just watch a little clip of what T Pain had to say about Drake.
No.
The one thing I learned from Drake, and here's the crazy thing: one thing I learned from Drake, but one thing he hasn't followed his own words.
Mm-hmm.
Drake said, "I want to be one of the people that gracefully bow out and not get kicked out."
Yeah.
I have ever since said,
Yeah.
"You really thank y'all.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all." I'll see y'all when I drop. Don't worry about it. I'll just drop something.
Yeah.
Let me know if you heard it.
Yeah.
Drake is like, no, listen. Okay, I got another one. Hold, check this out. Check this out. Y'all didn't like that one? Okay, real quick. Just one more. Let me try one more. And then he's the person that he said, he didn't want to be.
Mhm.
And I learned that from him. Like when he said that, I want to gracefully bow out and not get kicked out. I was like, you know what? Sorry. I'm out this bitch.
Yeah. I mean that seems like an innocent comment, right? You said this, Drake. So if you want to do that, then do it. You keep coming out with song after song. If that song ain't working, then here you got another one that's a week later. You are being like overexposed, and people are getting tired. I know I, for one, damn sure tired of Drake. If I never hear another Drake song for at least another 10 years, I think I will be good. I won't miss a thing. But he responded. And this is says, this guy always had resentment for me. You can hear it every time he speaks on my name. Child, please. And then Offset and his dirty looking ass wanted to share his 2 cents that didn't nobody ask for, defending Drake and calling out T Pain's remarks. The boy is his own. The boy is his. Well, I'm sorry. The boy is the boy. Shit ain't gonna change all that. He wrote. Hating on another grown man who do more numbers than everybody is diabolical. There's a reason he does more numbers than that, you stupid bitch. Colorism is at play and it affects your stupid ass too. And this is why your ass have been Offset. I'm talking to Offset now. This is why your stupid ass have been rapping since fucking as far back as I can remember. At least has to be for over a decade. You have no Grammys. However, your wife got one album and y'all still eating off that one album. Baby, colorism is to do with it. It's not because her music is better. Because it's not. I'm listen. I can be real. There are of a few Migos songs that I really really enjoy. Cardi has not like when it comes to club records and stuff. Cardi just won't in the clubs like that. Maybe Bodak Yellow, sure, but she. So for him to even you dumbass bitch, I'm so glad she left your stupid ass. Anyway, so yeah,
Wow.
he just burns me up. He's so fucking stupid. And I hate people like him. Just annoys the shit out of me. Like, what do you stand for? Nothing. So yeah, but T Pain was right. I say all that to say T Pain was right. Like Drake, you said it. After that lawsuit that he filed against UMG, baby, that should have been his sign right there to go to do something.
Just miss.
But
All right. Well, let's get into some white people business for a little bit, child. Kevin Spacey. You know, it's I the thing about matter of fact, I can't even say what, because I'm sure whatever I have to say right now is going to sound really offensive. So let's just read the story and then we'll talk after we read it. Because I think y'all will, after we read this, y'all will probably feel the exact same way I'm feeling right now. And just like you can be a sexual abuser for years and still. So anyway, we're about to read this People article. You see where it says Kevin Spacey declares he won't collaborate with those in Hollywood who judged him guilty. The fact that you even feel like you're in a position to even say some shit like that is just audacious, and it's pissing me off. Anyway, like, Kevin Spacey is speaking out about how his controversies will impact his career. On June 26th, yesterday, the two-time Academy Award winner, who's 65, took part in an onstage interview at the Italian Global Series Festival, IGSF, in Rimini, Italy. According to Deadline, Spacey stated that he was incredibly excited about going back to work in a substantial way. The actor, however, also reflected on his impact that his past legal troubles have had on his career. In 2017, Spacey was fired from the Netflix series House of Cards when he was accused of sexual misconduct. Spacey denied the claims. The actor was cleared of sexual abuse charges in 2022 in New York, as well as sexual assault claims brought forth in a 2023 London case. Look at this. Just look nasty. It just looked like he nasty and he stink. Anyway, these experiences have allowed me to stop, assess, reassess, and listen, and be very grateful for the work I'm able to do both on screen and off screen, Spacey told IGSF artistic director Marco Spagnoli during the interview, per Deadline. He also noted the support he received in the midst of his legal troubles. I'm filled with gratitude for those in my industry who stood by me and those individuals who were willing to wait for an outcome in the courts before they decided how they felt about me, Spacey said. Those people have my trust, and I will do everything I can to maintain their trust for the rest of my life. Okay, well, that will start by you can start by not touching young boys inappropriately. That'll be a good start. Allegedly. Anyway, several Hollywood stars have spoken out in support of Spacey returning to the movie business, including Sharon Stone, Liam Neeson, and Brian Cox. That's your support. Okay. Anyway. In the interview, Spacey also addressed those in Hollywood who rushed to judgment and decided I was guilty and treated me accordingly. They have my forgiveness. Not that we asked for it, but okay. But I'm not seeking them out to collaborate, the actor added. Spacey is currently facing another sexual abuse civil lawsuit brought forth against him in the UK in February 2025 with his nasty ass. In May, the actor accepted a Lifetime Achievement Award bestowed by the Better World Fund at an event in Cannes, France. In his acceptance speech, per Variety, he said that he has come out of the other side of these last few challenging years, not angry, not bitter, not resentful, but more present, more loving, more understanding, and more forgiving than I've ever been in my life. Rent actor Anthony Rapp, who alleged that Spacey molested him when he was 14 in the Manhattan civil case where Spacey was found not liable, said during a public appearance in November 2022 that he understands why many victims don't seek legal action against perpetrators. What is proof? How do you prove things? Part of the movement is so much about honoring a story, listening, being a mirror, and healing. You speak about these things. Those things aren't necessarily anything that a courtroom is at all interested in, the actor, who's 53, said at the time. And he's right. Just kind of look at what the defense attorney just said about anyway. Spacey recently appeared in the upcoming thriller The Awakening, which was searching for buyers at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival. He also appeared in films like The Man Who Drew God and Peter 5'8". Fuck Kevin Spacey. Fuck him with a sick dick with his old looking aging. He looked like aged like milk. First of all, ugh, I have nothing nice to say about this man right now. Nothing.
How is he not canceled?
That's what I'm saying. Like, are you kidding me? And look, we have some comments on why there are so many good actors in the biz. Exactly. Honey. Somebody said Darth Maul looking ass. He ruined my show. He sure did ruin House of Cards, honey. It pissed me off too. But no, cause what was it? Season 4, the ending of that shit, honey. I was season 4 of House of Cards, baby. They could have kept. And because I didn't like season 4 so much, I did not watch season 5. So, hey, favorite Taurus. Hey, Hammy. Does anybody want to add anything about Kevin Spacey's stupid, inappropriate ass before we go to the next story? All right. Well, the next story. Let's talk about another white man who's getting off easy. Justin Tucker. Remember we talked about him? So we're going to read from TMZ. Justin Tucker suspended 10 weeks. He only got 10 weeks of suspension after massage misconduct allegations. NFL free agent kicker Justin Tucker was hit with a severe punishment. Is it severe, really?
Oh my God.
I'm like, is it severe? Okay. Being handed a 10-week suspension after a league investigation into misconduct allegations. The 35-year-old, who was released by the Baltimore Ravens back in May, was accused by 16 massage therapists of acting inappropriately during sessions ranging from 2012 to 2016. The league looked into the matter and on Thursday announced the hefty ban. They keep saying like severe and hefty, but okay. Free agent Justin Tucker is suspended without pay for the first 10 weeks of the 2025 regular seasons for violations of the NFL's personal conduct policy, the NFL said. Tucker's suspension will take effect on roster cutdown day, August 26th, and he will be eligible for reinstatement on Tuesday, November 11th. The league went on to say he could serve his time even if he's not under contract with the team, and the punishment will not impact his process of finding a new pro home. And he'll be able to participate in training camps and preseason matchups if he does end up somewhere. Tucker has adamantly denied any wrongdoing, releasing multiple statements on the matter. His wife, Amanda, also spoke out, saying she believes him and supports him fully. To compare, Cleveland Browns quarterback was suspended 11 games and fined $5 million after his sexual misconduct scandal. Tucker is coming off his worst season as a kicker, making just 73% of his field goal attempts. Damn. They shaded him like hell in that last sentence. But yeah. So, I mean, even if this 10, this is just pretty much nothing but, I guess, if you want to call it a slap on the wrist or I don't know. Look, was he trying to get that little Peter pulled on while getting a massage? Yep, that's exactly what he was trying to do. And he's did it with several. He did it with 16 massage therapists when they trying to help his ass recover after them games and his damn knees and shit hurt. And he want to pull out his dingling. Look nasty fuck. And then his wife Amanda, want to sit there and stand by him fully. Like, girl, you another stupid bitch. Anyway, does anybody have anything they want to add about this creep? Look, she's standing by that money. Yep. Oh, I got to know so fast in the comments. Oh, well, is this our last piece of white people news for today? Yeah, so our last piece of white people news, and then we'll talk about other stuff. But remember, we talked on my June 11th show, we talked about Scott Wolf and his wife getting a divorce and stuff. And pretty much they said, we did all we could do. And, it's the best thing for us to get divorced. And I said, baby, this is not the last we've heard of this. I think this is going to get messy as hell. Baby, and I was right. The comments, they say, thank God this is my last white people story. So Scott Wolf granted temporary sole, physical, and legal custody of his 3 kids with estranged wife Kelly Wolf. Bitch. So Scott Wolf has been granted temporary sole physical and temporary sole legal custody of his 3 kids. According to court documents obtained by People, the Party of Five actor, who's 57, has been awarded temporary sole physical and temporary sole legal custody of his 3 kids, sons Jackson, who's 16, Miller, who's 12, and daughter Lucy, who's 11, whom he shares with his estranged wife, Kelly Wolf, who's 48. Kelly's custody or parent time was temporarily suspended. Scott was also awarded a temporary restraining order against Kelly. The documents claim that Kelly has engaged in an escalating pattern of behavior that poses a substantial threat of immediately and irreparable harm to the party's minor children. Per the temporary restraining order, Kelly's custody or parent time of the minor children is temporarily suspended until a private guardian ad litem can meet with the children and provide feedback to the court. Damn. Kelly's parent time shall be supervised by an agreed upon third party or agency pending further order by the court. Scott has also been awarded sole and exclusive use of their family home. Kelly is also restrained from posting anything on social media regarding the party's divorce action, the party's minor children, or pertaining to Scott. A failure to comply may be punishable by fine or jail time. U.S. Weekly was the first to report on the news. Kelly confirmed to People she will serve with the restraining order on Wednesday, June 25th. A hearing on this matter is scheduled for July 1st. Hold on, let me just look at her picture real quick. Chill, you see some asymmetry, girl? I think I might.
He put out the house. Yeah. And
the house, the kids. She can't post nothing about their asses online. No, nothing. Okay, so according to the documents, the order was put in place after Kelly tried to take the former couple's kids out of the country and displayed behavior sufficient for Kelly to be detained by law enforcement and subsequently placed on an involuntary psychiatric commitment. The emergency court award. Yes, honey. The emergency court award comes days after Scott filed for a restraining order against Kelly, which was filed after Kelly was taken to an involuntary 5150 hold at a Utah hospital. On June 13th, police were notified about a woman who needed some help. Kelly was detained and handcuffed by sheriffs in Utah County, Utah, on June 13th. Wolf has been staying at the Sundance Resort in Sundance, Utah, since that Wednesday, People understands. The incident came 3 days after she revealed in a lengthy Instagram post that she and her husband of 21 years had split. The pair, who first met in 2002, tied the knot in 2004. It is with heavy heart that Scott and I are moving forward with the dissolution of our marriage, she wrote at the time. This has been a long, quiet journey for me, rooted in hope, patience, and care for our children. While I will not speak publicly about the details, I feel peace knowing that I've done everything I can to walk this path with integrity and compassion. Scott Wolf is one of the best fathers I've ever known and one of the best partners a woman could have the privilege of sharing life with, the Real World New Orleans alum added. He is kind, thoughtful, funny, and beautiful in spirit. We both look forward to an extraordinary life centered around the most extraordinary children. My priority has always been their well-being and my own healing. That will never change. I am stepping into a chapter of peace, freedom, and protection. With grace, she concluded. Thank you to the many friends, family, and professionals who have held space for me with love. Please respect our privacy during this time. May we all remember healing isn't loud, it's sacred. So after Kelly shared her post, Scott spoke out in a statement shared with People. And he said, and this is what we talked about on June 11th, after 21 years of marriage, I've made the most difficult decision of my life and filed for divorce from my wife, Kelly, he said. Our children have always been and continue to be the loves of our lives and our every priority. So I kindly ask for privacy at this time as we help guide them through this new chapter. Last month, Scott shared a series of photos on Instagram as he celebrated his lookalike daughter, Lucy Marie's 11th birthday. In the sweet pics, the father-daughter duo could be seen smiling together outside, hanging out in a pool. Lucy looked like the spitting image of her famous father as they posed for a few selfies. And yeah, I guess, cool, good for them. But yeah, That is some. I just knew because the way both of them were talking. Oh, I've done everything I can. Oh, I'm like, these both sound like PR statements, and this shit is messy, and now it's looking messy, and it looked like she might be the problem. So, woo, child. I know that was a lot. Child. Oh, hold on. Well, does anybody want to add anything about these? Yep, yep. In chat, yep. She is from Real World New Orleans. Now, I personally don't remember her, but then again, that came on years ago. So, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Like, damn, I was in the lobby for like 20 minutes. Jeez. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
No, but yeah, like I remember her fondly, and they actually did a reunion of that cast a couple of years ago, and you couldn't tell that they were having issues at all. She was very buttoned up and put together and Miss Perfect, but of course, as you know, folks who operate like that, they have stuff going on behind the scenes. So
I'm sorry. I see
Yes.
the request, but when I click it, it disappears. I'm thinking that you got it, but I guess not.
Yeah. So apologies. We definitely don't mean to have our favorite tours waiting in the lobby for 20 minutes.
Oh,
I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
We would never.
don't be teasing
But
now.
yeah.
Don't be doing that.
That is crazy, y'all. Like, woof. And again, after this, and I feel like this is not gonna be the last we've heard of them. It's gonna be some more shit that'll come out. It seems like she is not the one to play with. It might to what it sounds like to me. And remember, I'm not a health professional, so please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But it sounds like like they are struggling with her. She maybe have bipolar disorder, and she's been having manic episodes that have maybe that's what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong. Oh, not takes a lot to pull that wagon up. I cannot.
Oh my God.
Well, does anybody want to add anything about Scott or Kelly Wolf or Will's wagon before we go to the next story? Well, y'all, this next story, honey, this is nasty. So lock this nasty motherfucker up and lock this child. I'm sharing my screen with a TMZ article. Mm. MLB star Wander Franco found guilty of sexually abusing a minor. So lock his ass up and lock up the minor's mother as well. Lock her ass up too. So this is him with his dehydrated looking ass. So MLB superstar Wander Franco has been found guilty of sexually abusing a minor. The verdict in the Tampa Bay Rays shortstop criminal case in the Dominican Republic just came down minutes ago on a Thursday afternoon. Franco had been on trial over allegations he had been in an inappropriate relationship with a 14-year-old girl. He was simultaneously accused of transferring money to the minor's mom to get her approval of their romance. Franco was given a suspended sentence of 2 years in prison, meaning if he abides by several conditions, reportedly including refraining from having sexual relations with minors, he will avoid any time behind bars. The victim's mother, meanwhile, was found guilty of sex trafficking the girl and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Oh, they did lock her up. I guess I must have didn't read that part when I was show prepping. Good. And keep her ass. Well, put his ass in there too. Shit. Anyway, prosecutors earlier this week had asked for 5 years behind bars for Franco if convicted and 10 for the mom. Before Franco's baseball career was put on pause over the allegations, he had been one of the most promising young players in the sport. He reached the big leagues at just 20 years old, and in less than 3 seasons, he made one All-Star appearance and logged a .282 batting average, whatever that means. Franco, now 24 years old, is currently on the MLB's restricted list. The league said in a statement following the ruling, Major League Baseball is proud to have a collectively bargain joint domestic violence, sexual assault, and child abuse policy that reflects our commitment to these issues. We are aware of today's verdict in the Warner Franco trial and will conclude our investigation at the appropriate time. Mm-mm. So, and this is a tweet of him in court in the Dominican Republic. So,
Yeah,
yes,
what?
little nasty bastard.
She locked up and he not locked up. That ain't right.
Hmm. I guess they must feel worse for the sex trafficker than the John. I guess I don't know, but yeah, he needs to be in jail too. With the same sentence that her ass got.
Right.
And then he no black, he Dominican. Y'all a mess. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Yes, Black Puppy. The thing is, like, you also have to consider he has access to certain things that the mother does not. So I have a sneaking suspicion it all comes down to money, and also considering that he's like a public figure. And there's a bias that plays into that as well because he did or slash does play sports and the mother does not. So we have to always consider um, the notion that biases come into play, especially with things like this. But I agree with you. He should be put under the jail and off
Yep.
to
No,
sea.
you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. That's exactly why a lot of these sports players and stuff, they love these young ass little girls. They see they're paying for, and I'm sure this is actually kind of common because it's a lot of parents who don't give a damn, and they all they see is dollar signs. They don't see their child being sexually abused, which is crazy to me. But whatever.
Well,
Go
he
ahead,
did
favorite Taurus.
another country too, so you know.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah, like they always say, just because you can birth a child don't make you a parent. And so also have to consider like he may be in connection with someone of like the team that he plays for, and they don't see him as a person, they see him as an asset, if you will. So they have to protect their assets at all costs. So they're going to do whatever is necessary to keep him out, not because they want to, it's because he plays for them, and also to keep the heat or the bad PR off of the team or the organization in general.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because even look at that last statement that the MLB made. They said, we are aware of today's verdict in the Wander Franco trial and will conclude our investigation at the appropriate time. What the fuck do y'all need to conclude? like, like what? But okay. So Will, you are absolutely right.
Okay, so let's see. If he weren't to play, then we would lose this amount of money. And if he does play, we have the potential of winning. And make sure we want to win because it all boils down to money.
Yes, Lord. Well, does anybody want to add anything about this nasty bastard before we go to the next story? Okay, I got three more stories left. Um, Leangelo Ball, child. So remember, we talked about him quite a bit with him and Miss Nikki Baby going through that whole thing. So it looks like him and his new girlfriend they're expecting. So Leangelo Ball's or Jello Ball's partner says, "I'm pregnant." Congratulations are in order for Leangelo Ball and Rashida Nicole, the
Already?
Hooper and rap already, girl. Already. The Hooper and rapper's partner announced she is pregnant with the couple's first child together. The 33-year-old shared the news with a series of photos on her Instagram, saying she is grateful, terrified, anxious, nauseous, and hangry. She looks so pretty, though. She's really pretty. Pretty girl. As a teen mom, I was always hesitant about going through pregnancy and parenthood again. If you know, you know. I want to thank my daughter for being here for me during this process, always demonstrating unconditional love and reassuring me that everything is all right. Ball left a comment on her post, posting a heart emoji with a lock and a key. It marks the third child for the Tweaker rapper and basketball player, but his first with Nicole. The news comes after 4 months after the mother of his kids, Nikki Maduras, called him out and claimed he left his family shortly after she gave birth to their second. We spent 3.5 years together, and last week he decided to walk on his kids and tell me he got someone else pregnant, allegedly, and now he is creating a new life with her. TMZ Sports caught Jello and Rashida walking out of California courthouse days after the drama began, with both wearing white outfits while he carried a big envelope. No word on the gender of the child or the potential due date, but maybe we'll see the little one starring in Jello's music video in the near future. Mm-mm. So my thing is, right, I just can't imagine what goes through a woman's head who is willingly like give. I guess it's the money. Money makes you do a lot of shit because I cannot understand procreating with a man who left his kids to be with you or left his family to be. I just don't. But okay, girl. You know that old saying, you lose them how you get them. So keep that in mind, girl.
Maybe
So
he's on
anybody want to add anything
Nick.
about this future single mother?
He might be on a Nick Cannon thing. You know, maybe he wants a lot of kids by different babies' mamas.
Maybe. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
My thing is, if his sperm can find the goal, why can't he when he plays basketball? That's wild to me.
Oh! Well, there you have it. Well, does anybody want to add anything about them before we go to our last two stories?
Is this the girl he wouldn't kiss when they were on the red carpet for what was that last show we watched? BT Awards or no?
I I can't remember.
Some award show recently, and they came together. And she was like, "Y'all kiss," and he turned and walked away. He's like you can't be telling me what to do, kind of, you know.
I definitely don't remember that. Well, our last two stories, they're actually not celebrity quote unquote, but one of these stories that have been talked about so much that they might as well be celebrities. This one here. So I'm sure y'all heard about that woman who got well, the woman whose husband was I believe he was part of law enforcement and he was abusing kids at her daycare. So she shot his ass and she ended up being arrested. Remember that? Well, she has been she's let go. They let her out. And first of all, thank you, Chilla, for bringing this story to my attention. So, oh, let me see. I'm using the ad blocker. Yes, I am. Do I need to? Oh, girl. Let me give me 1 second, y'all. Let me allow this page here. Okay. So, Maryland daycare owner released from prison after shooting ex-husband over child sexual abuse. Oh, bitch. Look, I'll fix it next time, damn it. Okay. So, a Baltimore County daycare owner who shot her husband when she learned he was sexually abusing children at the facility has been released from prison. Shantiri Young served most of her 4-year sentence, a punishment that outraged supporters who believed the judge was too harsh. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren spoke exclusively with Young from the halfway house where she was staying in Washington, D.C. Young moved to the halfway house on Tuesday and told WJZ she is looking forward to rebuilding her life in Maryland soon. But she said she would likely have to spend some time in home confinement before her sentence officially ends in December. Uh, Daycare owner shoots husband. Young was arrested in July of 2022 after she shot her then husband, former Baltimore City police officer James Weems, after confronting him over allegations that he'd been abusing children at her daycare, Little Kids Castle in Owing Mills. And that's his nasty fucking ass right there. Weems was working security at an event and staying at what was then known as the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Washington, D.C. when his wife joined him on the business trip. She opened fire while asking him about allegations of sexual abuse. The one thing I think that we need to know is that sexual abuse is not okay with children, Young said. A lot of times in the past, it has been covered up, and it's good that it's getting some type of notoriety to to it that we can stop it. Young continued, we can help children and not accept this, especially from somebody who we all thought should have been protecting children and protect the community at one point. Wake that up, girl. Young divorced Weems during the ordeal and officially changed her last name. Young testified against her ex husband, who was convicted of rape and sexual abuse in 2024 and was sentenced to life in prison. Prosecutors built their case around a 10-year-old girl he abused inside the daycare's van. One of the things I really want to say is I thank everybody for the support that they've given me, Young said. It has really helped me get through my prison sentence, and I'm just really thankful for that. I'm glad to be out of glad to be out and at the halfway house, and I'm just looking forward to rebuilding and giving back to the community like I was before. Judge Michael O'Keefe sentenced Young to 4 years in prison, double what prosecutors requested. People around the world and in Maryland expressed outrage at the punishment they believed was too harsh. A lot of people wrote to me, and I was able to connect with a lot of people, Young said. I definitely felt the support. I think the support is what kept me sane in prison, she said. Young has a message for those who stood by her. I would just say thank you so much, Young said. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And then the thoughts on James Weems' sentence. Young testified for the prosecution in her ex-husband case, and she has no regrets. She was not allowed to reveal to the jury that she shot him. I'm definitely glad that the justice system saw what happened, and he was sentenced to what he got, and that everybody can start trying to rebuild and move on, Young said. Young told jurors in October of last year how the confrontation unfolded. I had a lot of questions, trying to figure out what was going on. I was overwhelmed, distressed, she said from the witness stand. Young noted her husband was very calm. He didn't ask any questions. She told the truth. She did what she had to do. I'm disappointed that she did not go into what happened at the shooting because I think the jury needs to know why a person that rational, that calm, that focused, and reasonable, why would she snap like that unless something happened, her lawyer, Tony Garcia, said at the time. Young said she is staying positive as she tries to rebuild her life. It's a good thing that we're able to start helping children and bring more awareness to sexual predators who are out here, even those that have on the blue uniform or are within certain areas where we would have assumed that these people wouldn't have done anything. Young said, exactly, exactly, nasty fucker.
And the prosecutor suggested less time, and the judge gave her more time. Oh my gosh. You
And
shouldn't
you
have
know
let
why?
me.
You know why? Because he's a police officer. That judge was probably a former police officer.
Yeah, well, fuck him too.
Fuck him too. Fuck Judge Michael O'Keefe from Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea. Fuck you. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
And she's a black woman. Don't forget that.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, honey, does anybody want to add anything about that nasty fucker? And the wife who shot his ass, shout out to her and shoot his ass again, girl, if you ever get the chance. so, so, anybody want to add anything before we go to the last story? Well, our last story, chill. Let me just, well, anybody who's a homeowner, and I just want to ask you all. So, if you have somebody that you pay to take care of your lawn, right, and they do a good job of taking care of your lawn, but you happen to maybe go out of town and you find out that person threw a party at your house, what would you do? Like, would you just be so shocked that you couldn't even do it? I'm sure you would probably want to fight that person.
Police,
Immediately. Like
police,
in their yard, in the yard.
In the yard, uh-huh.
police. I'm calling the police immediately.
Well, that's exactly what happened. And we're about to watch a little, this is about a 3-minute video clip of something that happened in Weddington, North Carolina. Now, I personally have never heard or have been to Weddington, but this story was so wild. I said, oh, we got to talk about this on the show today.
That is
Let
crazy.
me share this. It is, girl, you are gonna gag. Hold on, let me share this. Let me make it full screen.
Accused of throwing a big party at one of his clients' homes in Union County. He says he didn't do anything wrong. Our Jonathan Lowe is live at the Union County Sheriff's Office. And Jonathan, see, he only talked to you about this and said he didn't break any laws.
Well, one weekend. 37-year-old Michael Brown is accused of taking a break from his landscaping business last Saturday night to plan this huge illegal house party that led to him facing multiple charges.
I didn't break the law. I just broke some rules of probably what my owners didn't want me to do. But I didn't break the law.
Union County Sheriff's deputies responded to 911 calls from neighbors living near this $4.3 million mansion at the corner of 12 Mile Creek Road and Beulah Church Road in Weddington.
Traffic hazards, loud noises, roadways being blocked.
When they arrived on scene, Lieutenant James May says deputies confronted Brown.
And, he represented himself as the homeowner, said he was having a party, indicated it was a graduation party.
But as they questioned his ties to the home, May says they found holes in his story.
He was in fact not the homeowner, not related to the homeowners, but it was in fact the yard guy.
Brown says this was a graduation party for his son and his son's friends.
Just wanted to always, do something where we could create an income and bring a positive environment for his friends.
It was mostly teenagers and young adults. We estimate anywhere from 300 to 400 people were at the house. A lot of underage drinking going on.
In addition to breaking and entering and property damage charges, investigators also charged Brown with obtaining property by false pretenses. Did you charge people to get in?
We did not charge, but we did charge because of security reasons.
He was actually doing was charging an entry fee. So we actually recovered and seized just a little over $3,000.
The owner knew I was supposed to be there.
Brown strongly disputes the story UCSO is telling.
I never spoke to them about anything about who stayed there or who owned the place. It wasn't my right to tell them that because it's private property. I didn't sell any alcohol. I wasn't down
because they're saying there was underage drinking.
Nope, no underage drinking. Nope, I bought my drinks. And
he also remains confident that he hasn't lost a client.
I'm just waiting for them to come home just so I could continue to build my relationship and we can move forward.
Wow.
Some of those 911 calls were reports of hearing gunshots coming from that house at the time of the party. After responding deputies searched the home looking for either a victim or a weapon, the sheriff's office later determined that that was actually the noise coming from some of the cars that had loud tailpipes. We're live tonight in Union County. Jonathan Lowe, Channel 9, Eyewitness News.
He may have some splaining to do. All right, Jonathan, thank you.
He broke some rules, but not some laws. I didn't charge, but I charged. You know what? They don't get
I told y'all was gonna be left speechless. That man is audacious.
My man,
go ahead, Quinn.
Open. Go ahead, Quinn.
A motherfucking liar! A liar! The audacity! Jail immediately! And you know what it is? You know what it is? I don't know his sound or nothing about him. But I'm going based off what he look like. He think he pretty. He think because he is a little handsome that, it ain't gonna be no problem. It is not gonna be no motherfucking sir, to hell with you. Over here, bald face line, bald goddamn face line. Where is your mama? Where is your Annie? Where is your granddaddy, your auntie, your uncle, your whoever? Because why are you embarrassing us? Why? On Beyonce internet? In public? Lying? Bald face lying? Please, sir, go to hell. Take the stairs.
Go ahead, Will.
So, Auntie, I have a question, right?
Wait, Auntie got snatched for a minute. I don't know.
Oh, I'm back.
Oh, I don't see you. Okay.
So I have a clarifying question, right, Auntie? So is he from Durham?
Well, I don't know him. If he is, I've never seen him.
Okay, just ask.
But it's possible because the way that logic, girl.
Yeah, he's in his own world with that logic. Come on, Ashley.
Hello. Good
Hello.
day,
Hey,
all.
gorgeous.
Just an observation. This tactic seems to be popular with a subset of people who think that they should get their way no matter what. And I think he's taking pointers from the what do they call them? The Cheeto.
Oh, the guy in the White House.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, just say anything and be all right. It's acceptable, even though I mean, what Quinn shared is absolutely true. There wasn't one truth told in there.
None.
Not one. Not
I,
one.
I knew it was going to be a nice crib. I just knew it. And he knew they were going to be out of town and had 300 to 400 people. Now, you know you cannot have that many people in somebody's backyard and they don't damage it. I'm sure they trample some stuff. Young people,
Girl,
too,
the neighbors heard gunshots and all. Like, what the fuck? Like,
in that neighborhood.
and Ashley, I don't know if you see that comment in the chat, honey, where somebody quoted your iconic quote, "Shutting up is free" by the iconic Ashley.
Sure is. It sure is.
He lied on his own lies. Like, what in the world?
But just like Quinn said, just 'cause he think he pretty, and that is a nice looking man. I give him that. He's nice looking, but he dumb as hell.
Very,
So,
very dumb.
He the type that be doing that shit to women, right? Girl, you know I wasn't cheating on you. That's my home, girl. That's my this and that and third. Look me in my eyes
mhm.
and smiling, and you know you like the way I look. Let me just hug you. Let me just kiss your head ass, please,
I
sir.
might have slept with her, but I wasn't cheating.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell?
Gaslighting had it wouldn't surprise me if that man was a Pisces man. It would not surprise me if he was a
Wake it
if
up.
you know what I'm saying. If he was a Pisces man, it would not surprise me. None in the likely. But yeah, but those the type you gotta. Hey, look, go police immediately, police, and I'm gonna need that money though. 400 people, please. I
Oh,
just
At
just
first he
trying
said
to
he wasn't charging anything, and then they said, oh, he was charging an entry fee. Then
for
he
security.
said for security he made like they confiscated $3,000 from his ass. Like, dude,
How the audacity with somebody other shit is crazy.
I wasn't charging though.
Nothing but for security.
Mm. Come
and
on, Will.
Chaotic Cup, I'm gonna send you the link of who we talked, because Chaotic Cup was in the chat asking who we was talking about. I send you the link. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I have so many questions. Like, why would a homeowner trust an employee with access to their home like that? Or did he Jimmy rig the door to get in the home? So
No,
many questions. Like,
I
why
don't.
why
I don't think
why
so.
why would yeah, like a homeowner would allow that much access to someone who simply mows the lawn. Something is amiss with that story, in my opinion. Hmm.
It was in the backyard. I don't think they were inside the home, but still,
Yeah, that's too much even if it's a backyard, that's too much access for something that doesn't belong to him. Like, what made him feel so comfortable that it would be okay to do so,
well,
you
he
know?
said
Cause
the homeowner knew he was there, but I think what he meant to say was the homeowner knew that he was coming to mow the yard. He
he
didn't
a
know he
liar.
was going to throw a
He a
party.
liar.
Yeah, he's lying about that.
So you mow the lawn at
Stretching the truth.
nighttime?
With
Yeah, he
300
was
help.
How do you see the grass when there's no light outside? I said so many. That's dumb.
he started mowing. See what he was stretching the truth because he started mowing, then he had the gathering, then he was gonna finish once they left. That's what happened.
I bet
Cause
that
he was supposed to
backyard
be there.
is tight. I want to see that backyard. I know it's tight.
Yeah, it has to be, especially if it can fit 300, 400 people.
Yeah, that backyard is a sight, I bet. Yeah, he's going to Well, depending on the homeowner, if he wants to press charges, he's going to jail.
Well, if I see any updates about that, y'all believe me, I will keep y'all updated. But I knew y'all would get a kick out of this damn story.
And if he has any other wealthy clients, what are they gonna think? Like, I would fire him immediately if he did that in my neighborhood to one of my neighbors, and he's cutting my yard. Oh no, he'd have to go.
He said his customer is locked in, twin.
Well, okay.
Well, y'all, that was all the tea that I had for us today. So before we head out and before I go watch my stories, did any of you have any tea that you want to share? Any tea I might have missed? Oh yes, go ahead, favorite tourist.
So this one today, it's really quick. So we spoke in detail about the legends Brandy and Monica going on tour, and I'm happy to report that there are reports that the shit is selling out, which I am so happy to hear. I wasn't able to get tickets, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's great to see that they're still in such high demand. I know it's going to be a wonderful show, so good for them.
Absolutely, and you know what? And I'm happy for them. I really am, and I think like the writings were on the wall, like because you saw how you saw the turnout for the verses that they did. They were surprised at the numbers for that. So I knew the girl. I knew, especially the Black gay millennials. I knew it was gonna show up and show out for them. So
And what my hope is that they see this and selfishly they expand the tour just a little bit, a couple more dates, because some of us, I am us, we still want to go, and
Hello.
we still want to participate. So uh, hopefully their schedules permit and they stay healthy or what have you, so that is a possibility because the money is still out there. We're willing to give it to them. So
yes, indeed. Well, thank you for that, Will. And did anybody else have any other tea I might have missed?
To add on to that, the bitches who was trying to drag a little beef between Kelly and Beyonce, fuck them hoes, okay?
Yeah, that was
Because
crazy.
that shit was really grinding my gear. But also shout out to Kelly for handling that shit gracefully. Because yeah, them motherfuckers got me fucked up. Mind your business.
let's not acknowledge that stupidity. We know it's bullshit. Like this is such a joyous occasion for everyone involved, all the legends and stuff. Like we should stay there. Like Kelly's gonna do great. We already know Brandy and Monica's gonna bring it. Money Long is gonna be present, and What's Face is gonna be there too. Good for them. But it's a win for the culture. It's a win for music in general. So I'm just happy these legends are coming together and going to put on amazing sets and amazing shows for the fans. So
Yes. Go ahead, gorgeous Ashley.
I was just going to say that Kelly is a class act, but um, it my hand just kept going up when I went to hit the emojis. I couldn't stop it, and I was trying to put it
Go.
down, and it just hit it again and again. Oh, maybe I was just
So you
saying
was up
hi.
in here. You was just raising the roof. That's all that
Right,
was.
that's right. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. That's right. That's right.
And y'all see the Hammy says, "Good show, Horick." I just love when he calls me Horick. Thank you so much, and thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. We will be back on Monday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time for the live show if you can make it. Until then, you all have a fabulous weekend.
Bye, everybody.